I'm Alex.
I'm Tony.
We're going to tell you about Sony's press conference.
Yep.
It was a very long conference.
Yeah, very long drawn out.
It felt like it was a whole bunch of segments strung together. It just really felt onward. This is actually the same as last year.
Yeah,
they kept on announcing game after game after game, except this time most of the games that were shown we already knew about.
Yeah, this is what it felt like. It was like the whole thing was already predetermined.
Yeah, and since we only have 10 minutes to talk about
we have a lot to talk about.
We have a lot to talk about, so let's start with the first game that was actually shown.
Killzone 3.
In 3D.
Yeah, this is a disappointment. The fact is that they made this big deal. Oh, it's in 3D. Or everyone in the audience put your glasses in and they cut away from us and put like just some random Playblade footage.
They claimed this whole thing about how about 20 million PS3s are capable of using 3D, but I don't know if those people can actually see the things in 3D. You need the glasses and so forth and so on.
And the TV.
But Killzone 3, I won't deny, had great animation.
It looked good.
It looked
Graphically, this thing is off the wall. It looks better, way better than Killzone 2, which also was awesome looking. So
good for you people who really enjoyed Killzone. Sorcery was the first game they showed for Move.
This was kind of strange. I was thinking it was kind of weird how it was 1-to-1, but at the same time, the guy it wasn't exactly where he was. Yeah. I think it's because it's following the ball and not where his arm is.
Yeah, it did look like a good adventure title, and I do give him credit for that.
I hope it's not too much like
Harry Potter.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about that.
Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2011.
Boy, this went on for way too long.
The guy was doing a pretty good job, but it took forever for him to actually finish. It showed pretty much the same controller scheme that we've been shown earlier, and also on the Wii as well. So it was very repetitive.
I think they should have just shown how it works and then moved on. It was not necessary to get a play.
They just needed to plug EA, I guess. Now this one is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Heroes on the Move.
It was cool to see all these franchise characters moving together.
It finally happened!
I was waiting for it. I mean, Jack and
Ratchet and Clank.
They were so close anyways.
In the same genre. And Sly Cooper
that was
I do think, though, that it seems like a bit of a forced thing, almost. I was like, we're going to throw all your characters together, just like those Nicktoons
I need to see more footage, though, because the whole conference, we saw the same footage for that game over and over and over again. And I wanted to see how it moves and how it fights, and that's what
it's a 2011 game, by the way.
Oh, so it's got a ways to go.
Then all of a sudden, Kevin Butler appears.
I don't know why they did this. They cut out from all the games just for like a 7-minute speech of saying, don't diss the gamers. I mean, it's a good message to be setting out, but why all of a sudden? They should have it like in the beginning or the end, not in the middle.
The least favorite thing about the whole thing about that was that it was pretty much saying, don't hate on other consoles, because we're all here for gaming, but he's just kind of just spouting it off to people. It's like people aren't really listening. Move's price point was shown off. Apparently it's $50 for the controller, $30 for the extra controller, and that's not without the Move camera, which is probably about $30 to $40 in of itself.
Or you can buy the controller with the camera and a game, the sports game, of course, for $100.
And that does not include the $30 extra controller.
Or you can buy that with the system, that bundle with the system for $400.
Yeah, $400.
And but the big thing is that the games they say will most likely be $40.
So that's probably the only major benefit from the pricing of Move. It's just a fairly expensive thing, though probably not as expensive as Kinect. God of War: Ghost of Sparta.
Now, we knew about this PSP game before, but now, did we even get to see footage for it?
We saw a CG trailer.
I need to see gameplay.
That was the major PSP game they showed off. They also showed off a commercial, and that was like the big thing about PSP.
I don't know why they showed off commercials. This is not the time and place.
I was actually very much thinking that there was going to be a PSP 2 announcement, if at least a teaser of it. Instead, they just said, we're just going to market it some more. I'm guaranteeing it. The reason is because the PSP Go failed, and the PSP is doing very well in Japan. That's why we're not seeing a PSP 2 right now.
Little Big Planet 2. That
was very interesting. They decided to take the engine of Little Big Planet and mold other genres into it.
I thought this was part of that, like that make, create, play thing, whatever. I don't know what it's called.
The last game was Mod Nation Racers. That just came out. Mm-hmm. It's very odd for me, even, to see that they decided to go right back to Little Big Planet. They decided that, it's really only those two games.
Why did I would really been like if they had more, like taking like a shooting one and so on and so forth, rather than putting it all into Little Big Planet. I mean, ups for them, but...
Little Big Planet's a good game, so props to them. PlayStation Plus.
This is strange. It's pretty much just saying, listen, I know we're giving away free stuff, but now we have better stuff. And the thing is, it's not like it's timed exclusive. This is stuff that you can only get if you're a Plus member.
Yeah. I think it's pretty much that they saw Microsoft making tons of money on their Gold service and decided, you know what, let's throw in our own. But this time, now it's kind of like, whereas if you're... you can still go on the internet with the original PlayStation Network, but now it's extra exclusive content.
I hope they don't really screw over the people who already own a PlayStation and don't want to do that. Medal of Honor.
This game was shown already at EA's conference, but it was single player, but it was really just...
It wasn't even the single player, it was just more like just a trailer.
It was a selection of clips, it wasn't...
It was an advertisement for an advertisement.
Yeah, it wasn't that great. Dead Space 2.
We saw part 1 at the other conferences.
And it kind of just, I mean, it was pretty good looking at that point.
But I think it was kind of strange how the second part was very short. Like, it was like, what, like not even a minute?
It was probably a few minutes.
Then why?
But at the same time, it was very full of QTEs.
I'm worried.
I think the game...
Press X not to die!
Portal 2.
This was a surprise.
It pretty much was. When I saw Gabe Newell walk up, I just went...
Actually, when I heard the voice, that did.
Yeah, I was like, oh, well, that's the reason why Portal 2 was delayed.
I'm concerned,
to get a simultaneous
now,
release
it could
for
work
PS3.
well with... It could work with the Move. Maybe that's what they're going for.
That's going to be probably a surprise thing, or they're just doing that because they want to, incorporate it. It's probably not coming to 360 now. Final Fantasy 14 Online. I don't really have much to say about it.
It looks like Final Fantasy 11 too.
Yeah.
Except with better graphics and stuff. But
yeah, so moving on. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. We saw a trailer like this last
so
time.
nothing new.
So we really
just more like just like a teaser thing.
Yeah.
Gran Turismo 5.
That one looked genuinely good.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think it should have taken a whole generation for this game to come out.
Hey, it's coming out this year. Finally, they have a release date.
November 2nd. I think it was like they're having it slowly appear to make people get really anticipated to see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks really good. If you're a fan of Gran Turismo,
and it looks fun. It's photogenic graphics. This is going to be this is good.
Infamous 2.
Now this was everyone loved the first Infamous.
Ice powers.
That was a surprise. Boom.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what I got out of it. And he doesn't look at all like the first guy.
Yeah, the other guy was rugged and now he looks like some guy, like a street.
He looks like a generic character.
Now he's parkour.
Yeah. And finally, Twisted Metal.
This was the big surprise they were hiding.
Yep, apparently David Gaffey, when he said he wasn't making it, he actually was. That cheater.
Surprise!
The game looks like it takes factions instead of actually being a game.
And the fact that you can snipe people, I think it's kind of breaks the whole point of what Twisted Metal is all about.
The game is supposed to be car battles.
Not car shooters.
Yeah, this one looks more like along the lines of you guys are in cars and you can shoot at each other instead of your cars that move around and destroy each other.
So it's more like a third-person shooter rather than a car shooter.
I do like the fact they're trying to reboot the series this way, but I think they've just barked up the wrong tree in terms of being Twisted Metal. It's a completely different experience now.
Yeah.
And that was Sony's conference.
It was a kind of mismatch.
It felt like that Move and 3D were both pushed separately because they didn't want to really combine them.
And it was strange how the 3D was pushed for like 15 minutes solid and Move wasn't even pushed for 15 minutes solid. It was kind of, it was actually might have been, I don't know, the time was moved really slow.
Either way, it felt like 20 minutes longer than it should have been.
It should have cut little parts sections short and make it nice, concise, and perfect for
It felt like it was supposed to end like 4 times by the time they actually got to Twisted Metal.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a problem for a lot of people, I'm sure. Then again, if you were
more stuff is better.
More stuff the better, right? Unfortunately, a majority of them are coming out in 2011. So what was your favorite game?
Can I say Kevin Butler?
No, you can't.
I really wanted to. He was really cool. Again, he always is. My favorite would have to be Infamous 2. The first game was really well done. I really want to see how the ice powers work. You're evolving. I want to see maybe you get fire power next.
Speaking of which, my favorite is Sorcery. I think Sorcery, despite the one-to-one PR speak that they had the whole time for Move, it actually looked like a decent game with unique concepts behind it.
I really want to see how the Move is used with like, spell casting, more like that potion stuff. That was cool.
Yeah, that was pretty darn good. And I'm also pretty interested in seeing what Twisted Metal can do, but to be quite honest,
I want to see it single-player adventure.
Yeah, that game's also not coming out in 2011, so if you're a Sony fan, 2011 looks pretty good for you.
Mm-hmm.
So that concludes all 3. We're going to have a video in which we discuss and compare all 3, and you expect that later on.
Yep.